Imagine a world where fairy tales aren't just for the pages of books or the big screen where love, dreams, and second chances happen in real life. That's exactly what Pretty Woman gave us in 1990. An unexpected romance between a wealthy businessman and a woman with a difficult past. But here's the twist. Pretty Woman wasn't just about the love story. It was about transformation, second chances, and showing us that anyone, no matter their past, can create a future they dream of. Now, it's 30 years later. We're being invited to step back into that world. Pretty Woman 2 is coming in 2025. But what happens after the fairy tale ending? Is it truly happily ever after, or are there new challenges that Edward and Vivian have to face in this next chapter? Let's dive into what we can expect from this much-anticipated sequel, *. Vivian and Edward's unlikely encounter. The story of Pretty Woman begins in the bright lights of Los Angeles, a city of dreams and disappointments. Vivian Ward, played by the vibrant Julia Roberts, is a woman with big dreams but little opportunity. A street-smart, independent woman working as a prostitute. She lives in a small apartment and struggles to make ends meet. However, fate has other plans. One night, Vivian crosses paths with Edward Lewis, a wealthy businessman played by Richard Gere, who is in town to handle a major business deal. Edward, unlike any man Vivian has ever met, offers her a ride home, which turns into a weekend agreement where Vivian accompanies him to various high society events. While initially this feels like just another business transaction, something much deeper begins to unfold between them. As the story progresses, both characters slowly start to let their guard down. Vivian, initially seen as a woman defined by her job, reveals her dreams, her hopes, and her desire for a life outside the confines of her profession. Edward, a cold and calculating businessman, shows his softer side, hinting that there's more to him than just wealth and status. The most captivating part of this unlikely duo's story is the way they transform each other. Vivian introduces Edward to a world of emotions he has long shut off, while he teaches her about the power of self-respect, confidence, and the possibility of a new future. The famous scenes, whether it's Vivian's shopping spree in Rodeo Drive, her "I'm your princess" moment, or their final romantic gesture, showcase their growth as individuals and as a couple. They both escape the boxes that society has placed them in, realizing that they are worth more than just what they do or what they have. The fairy tale ending. By the end of the film, Vivian has become more than just Edward's pretty woman. She has become a woman who knows her worth. The ending, where Edward climbs the fire escape to rescue Vivian, mirrors the emotional and physical rescue that both of them experience throughout the film. It's not about rescuing her from a bad life. It's about helping her see that she deserves more, that she is worthy of love, respect, and happiness. For Edward, Vivian becomes more than just a companion. She's his muse, his reason for change. She inspires him to rethink his relationships, his values, and his idea of success. They both realize that, though their worlds may be different, they are perfect for each other. The film ends on a high note with their kiss, leaving audiences with the feeling that true love really does conquer all, no matter the odds. The cultural impact of Pretty Woman. What made Pretty Woman more than just a typical romantic comedy was its ability to tackle themes of class, self-worth, and societal expectations. The film wasn't just about a rich man falling in love with a woman from a lower class. It was about showing that everyone has a chance at love, respect, and transformation. The movie became a cultural phenomenon, not just because of its charming leads and memorable quotes, but because it highlighted the idea that love is not defined by your background, your job, or your social class. It spoke to the underdog in all of us, making audiences root for Vivian and Edward's unconventional love story. Julia Roberts' performance as Vivian became iconic, earning her an Academy Award nomination and a Golden Globe win. Richard Gere, who brought depth to the role of Edward, became the perfect foil to Roberts' energetic, free-spirited character. Together, they created one of the most beloved on-screen couples in Hollywood history. But Pretty Woman was not just a love story, it was a story of personal growth, redemption, and finding love where you least expect it. This combination of romance, humor, and depth made it a movie that people continue to watch and love even after all these years. It's the kind of film that doesn't just end when the credits roll, it stays with you, reminding you that no matter where you start, you can always have a new beginning. Setting the stage for Pretty Woman 2. Now that we've revisited the magic of Pretty Woman, the question on everyone's mind is, what happens next? 30 years have passed since Vivian and Edward's journey began, and fans are eager to see how their love story continues. What new challenges will they face in Pretty Woman 2? Can their love still survive the pressures of time, family, and the changes life throws their way? And how will these two iconic characters evolve in the modern world? As we eagerly await the 2025 release of Pretty Woman 2, there's so much anticipation around what this sequel will bring. Will it live up to the magic of the first film, or will it create a whole new world for Edward and Vivian? Stay tuned because we're about to dive into what we know so far about Pretty Woman 2 and the exciting journey that lies ahead for our favorite couple. The return of Edward and Vivianette's 2025. And the long-awaited sequel to Pretty Woman is finally here. But this isn't just another romantic comedy. It's the continuation of a love story that captivated millions of fans worldwide. We've spent the last 3 decades wondering what happened to Vivian and Edward after they shared that unforgettable kiss at the end of the first film. The sequel picks up where the first left off. But the question remains, where are they now, and what challenges are they about to face together? Pretty Woman 2 doesn't just focus on the happily ever after we saw in the first movie. Instead, it shows us what happens after the fairy tale ending. Vivian and Edward's love story isn't just about finding each other, it's about maintaining that love and evolving as individuals. Both have changed over the years. Vivian, once a woman struggling to survive, is now an accomplished businesswoman who has carved out her own identity. Edward, who learned to love and let go of his rigid worldview, has continued to climb the corporate ladder. But life hasn't been without its struggles for them. And as we dive into Pretty Woman 2, we'll witness how these two navigate new, more complex challenges that come with success, age, and the shifting dynamics of modern life. Vivian's transformation. From Pretty Woman to businesswoman, the original Pretty Woman, Vivian Ward's character was a symbol of transformation. A woman who started out as a street-smart prostitute, she became so much more an independent woman who knew her worth and refused to settle for less. Fast forward to Pretty Woman 2, and Vivian has taken those lessons to heart. This time around, Vivian isn't just Edward's love interest. She's a powerful, self-made businesswoman. She has built a career from the ground up, using the same determination and resilience that helped her survive in the tough streets of Los Angeles. But while her career is thriving, her personal life is anything but perfect. Vivian has become a highly respected figure in her industry, but with that respect comes new pressures. She must balance her work-life commitments while still keeping her relationship with Edward strong, all while managing public expectations and confronting her own fears about what the future holds. One of the film's central themes is Vivian's continued journey toward self-empowerment. She's no longer the woman who needs rescuing. Instead, she's a woman who has learned how to rescue herself and, in turn, help others. But will her new role and the demands that come with it cause strain in her relationship with Edward? In Pretty Woman 2, we'll see how Vivian faces these challenges and proves that it's possible to thrive professionally without sacrificing the relationships that matter most. Edward's evolution. From business tycoon to family man Edward Lewis, the wealthy businessman from the first film is still as charismatic as ever. But as the sequel unfolds, we realize that Edward isn't the same man he was when we last saw him. While he's maintained his successful business empire, his life is no longer just about the deal-making and corporate world. Edward's character arc in Pretty Woman 2 deals with his growth as a man, as a partner, and as a family member. Edward has gone from a cold, calculating businessman to a man who understands the value of relationships. He now sees the world through a different lens, one that is shaped by love, vulnerability, and self-reflection. However, as the pressures of running a global business weigh on him, Edward finds himself facing personal struggles that threaten his happiness. Can he continue to support Vivian as she rises in her own career, all while managing the demands of his own life and family obligations? The film explores how Edward balances his responsibilities as a husband, a businessman, and a man dealing with the expectations of those around him. One of the most powerful aspects of Pretty Woman 2 is how it shows that, despite their wealth and status, Edward and Vivian are not immune to the challenges that every couple faces: communication, trust, and the realities of growing older. The power couple, navigating new obstacles together. The beauty of Pretty Woman was that it showed us that love is not just about meeting the right person, it's about growing together, facing challenges, and supporting each other through thick and thin. Pretty Woman 2 takes this theme even further. As Edward and Vivian navigate their respective careers, personal growth, and family life, they face obstacles that many long-term couples can relate to. But what makes them a truly inspiring couple is their ability to face these challenges together. Rather than letting their struggles drive them apart, Edward and Vivian's bond grows even stronger. Pretty Woman 2 shows that love is not just about passion, it's about partnership. Their relationship is tested in new ways, but instead of crumbling under the pressure, they come together and prove that love, trust, and mutual respect can overcome any obstacle. This is what makes Pretty Woman 2 such an exciting sequel. It isn't just about reuniting fans with their favorite characters. It's about showing that even after years of change, love can still prevail. The film presents a more mature version of Edward and Vivian's relationship, one that is far more grounded and real than the whirlwind romance of the first movie. Together, they show that while life may not always go according to plan, love always finds a way to survive, setting the stage for the future as Pretty Woman 2 unfolds. We'll see how the love story between Edward and Vivian continues to inspire audiences. But more importantly, the sequel sets the stage for what comes next. It introduces the idea that love is not just about romantic moments and grand gestures. It's about working through the everyday struggles that all couples face. The film doesn't shy away from the complexities of life, whether it's balancing work and family, dealing with public scrutiny, or navigating the changing dynamics of a relationship. It shows that true love isn't about perfection, it's about growth, understanding, and unwavering support for each other. Edward and Vivian may have started out as an unlikely couple, but in Pretty Woman 2, they prove that love, when nurtured with care and mutual respect, can stand the test of time. As we continue to look forward to the release of Pretty Woman 2, it's clear that this sequel isn't just about revisiting the past. It's about seeing how far these beloved characters have come, and what new chapters they will write in their own story of love and growth. The plot of Pretty Woman 2. Anew. Beginning as the 2025 sequel to Pretty Woman approaches, fans are eager to know what lies ahead for Edward and Vivian. The first film left us with a sense of hope, but also a curiosity about what their life together would be like after the fairy tale ending. Pretty Woman 2 promises to answer those questions, while introducing fresh dynamics and storylines that are sure to keep audiences hooked. In the new movie, Vivian and Edward have grown older, but the love between them is still strong. However, they now face the realities of life, balancing careers, family, and their personal lives. The plot picks up years after the events of the original film, where we find the couple at a crossroads in their relationship. Their bond is still intact, but the challenges they face are more complicated. While Vivian is thriving in her career as a businesswoman, Edward is grappling with his place in the corporate world, which has changed in ways he didn't expect. At the heart of Pretty Woman 2 is the evolution of their relationship. The movie isn't just about revisiting the iconic moments from the first film, it's about showing how relationships evolve with time. The two main characters will confront issues that many couples face, such as communication struggles, family pressure, and the question of how to continue growing together as individuals. The film will explore how Vivian and Edward continue to define success in their relationship, not by the standards of the outside world, but by their own. They'll be faced with real-world problems that challenge their bond. And it will be their willingness to adapt and support each other that ultimately defines their future. New characters and fresh dynamics while Edward and Vivian remain the focal point of the story. Pretty Woman 2 introduces new characters who will play crucial roles in their journey. The introduction of these new faces will add fresh dynamics to the sequel and expand the narrative beyond the original couple. One of the key new additions to the cast is insert new character, who plays a pivotal role in Vivian's career. This character represents the modern challenges that successful women face in today's world, balancing ambition with personal fulfillment. The new character will serve as both a mentor and a rival, pushing Vivian to new heights while also testing her loyalty to Edward. Their dynamic will provide both conflict and growth for Vivian as she navigates her professional and personal life. Edward, too, will face new challenges in the business world. A character from his past, insert new character, reappears, bringing both opportunity and tension. This character has a history with Edward and represents an aspect of his past he would rather leave behind. Their interactions will force Edward to confront some of the choices he's made throughout his career and reevaluate his future. The introduction of these new characters highlights that Pretty Woman 2 isn't just about reliving the past. It's about pushing the boundaries of the original narrative and introducing fresh perspectives that will challenge the main characters in new and unexpected ways. Gere Marshall's legacy in Pretty Woman 2. One of the most talked about aspects of Pretty Woman 2 is the fact that Gere Marshall, the beloved director of the original film, is no longer with us. Marshall's unique vision and heart-shaped approach to storytelling were key to the success of the original movie. But even though he is no longer with us, his influence will undoubtedly be felt in the sequel. The creative team behind Pretty Woman 2 has made it clear that they aim to honor Marshall's legacy by staying true to the heart and spirit of the original film, while the sequel will update certain aspects of the story to reflect the changes in the world over the past few decades. The core themes of love, transformation, and personal growth will remain intact. The film will continue to embrace the lighthearted and romantic tone that made Pretty Woman a timeless classic, while also delving deeper into the complexities of adult relationships. The essence of Gere Marshall's storytelling, which blended humor, heart, and real-world issues, will guide the direction of the sequel. It's a way of ensuring that Pretty Woman 2 feels familiar to fans, while also evolving the story for a new generation. The importance of Vivian and Edward's continued love story. What makes Pretty Woman 2 so special is that it isn't just about revisiting the iconic couple we all know and love. It's about exploring the depths of their relationship and showing how love can evolve over time. Edward and Vivian's love story wasn't just about a man rescuing a woman. It was about two people from very different worlds finding common ground and creating a life together. The sequel deepens that message. In Pretty Woman 2, their relationship is tested in new ways. They must confront the obstacles that come with age, success, and the pressures of maintaining a healthy balance between personal and professional life. But at its core, their love is stronger than ever. This is one of the key messages of the sequel. Love is not just about the grand gestures or perfect moments, it's about resilience, compromise, and growth. Even after all these years, Vivian and Edward remain the epitome of a couple who fight for each other and for their love. As we watch them navigate their new lives, we're reminded that love is a journey, not a destination. Pretty Woman 2 will show us that a lasting relationship is about continuing to grow together, even in the face of challenges. And as we see how Edward and Vivian evolve, we're reminded that love is always worth fighting for. The anticipation builds as we eagerly await the release of Pretty Woman 2. The anticipation is only growing. Fans of the original film are excited to see where Edward and Vivian's love story goes next, and what new adventures await them. With its promise of heartfelt moments, new challenges, and unforgettable chemistry between Julia Roberts and Richard Gere, the sequel is set to deliver everything we loved about the first movie and so much more. The story of Edward and Vivian. It's always been about more than just a romance. It's about transformation, redemption, and the power of love to change lives. And as we prepare for the next chapter in their journey, can't wait to see how Pretty Woman takes us on an emotional ride that will resonate with audiences old and new. The countdown has officially begun. And one thing is clear, Pretty Woman 2 is going to be a love story for the ages. Get ready for a new chapter filled with love, laughter, and unforgettable moments. Love that transcends time, that the heart of Pretty Woman 2 is the timeless love story between Edward and Vivian. The original film captured the hearts of millions because of its relatable and aspirational romance. But in Pretty Woman 2, this love story is not just revisited, it's elevated. The sequel explores what happens when love endures through time, changes, and the everyday struggles of life. The chemistry that made Edward and Vivian an iconic couple in 1990 is still very much alive. But now, it's framed within a more mature and grounded context. The love story in Pretty Woman 2 isn't just about two people falling in love, it's about maintaining that love through all the ups and downs of life. Edward and Vivian's bond has already survived the test of time, but now they must prove that love isn't just a fairy tale, it's a choice that requires effort, compromise, and understanding. The sequel examines how relationships evolve as the people in them grow and change. As we get older, we face new challenges, career pressures, health issues, family dynamics, and the realities of balancing personal and professional life. Yet, through it all, Edward and Vivian's relationship stands as a testament to the fact that love is a journey, a constant work in progress. Their love has matured with them, and in Pretty Woman 2, we see how they adapt to the new phase of their relationship, facing obstacles together and emerging stronger. A modern twist on a classic romance, while Pretty Woman 2 maintains the core elements that made the original so beloved. Romance, humor, and heart also brings a modern twist to the story. In today's world, relationships are tested in ways they weren't before. The dynamics of love, marriage, and family have evolved, and the sequel reflects these changes. Edward and Vivian now face the realities of life as middle-aged adults, navigating the complexities of modern relationships. Vivian, who was once the woman who needed saving, is now a woman who has her own voice, her own power, and her own goals. She's no longer the woman of just dreams and hope. She's someone who has achieved professional success, built a career, and proved her worth in a world that once dismissed her. Her relationship with Edward has evolved too. They now face new challenges, not because they don't love each other, but because life has become more complicated as they've grown older. For Edward, the sequel shows that he has changed too. He is no longer the wealthy businessman who simply lives for success and wealth. His relationship with Vivian has taught him the importance of vulnerability, emotional connection, and balance in life. In Pretty Woman 2, Edward is trying to reconcile his professional ambition with his desire to spend more time with Vivian while also being there for his family. This modern twist on love and marriage offers an honest look at what happens when the fairy tale version of a relationship gives way to real-world complications. Facing new challenges together, one of the most powerful aspects of Pretty Woman 2 is how it portrays Edward and Vivian's ability to face new challenges together. Love is not just about grand gestures or romantic moments, it's about working through life's difficulties as a team. The sequel delves into the trials that come with adulthood, balancing career with family, handling financial pressures, managing societal expectations, and even dealing with the fear of growing old. The two main characters are no longer perfect. They are complicated, flawed, and vulnerable. But it's this imperfection that makes their love story even more compelling. As they navigate these challenges, they rely on each other for support and understanding. Their relationship isn't just a source of comfort, it's a partnership that helps them grow stronger through adversity. Vivian and Edward's dynamic is not without conflict. But it's their willingness to work through these conflicts that makes their love so inspiring. Pretty Woman 2 highlights that love is not about avoiding challenge, it's about facing them head-on, with the support of the person you love. And through this, their relationship becomes even more profound, proving that true love is built on mutual respect, trust, and the ability to adapt. The enduring power of their love, what makes Edward and Vivian's relationship so powerful is that their love is rooted in mutual respect and understanding. The magic of Pretty Woman wasn't just about a rich man rescuing a woman from a difficult life. It was about two people who, despite their differences, found a way to come together and build a future. In Pretty Woman 2, that magic hasn't faded. Grown stronger, through their love story. The sequel shows that true love is not about perfection. It's about growth, acceptance, and change. Edward and Vivian have had their ups and downs, but they've learned that love is a choice they continue to make every day. In a world that often feels unpredictable, their relationship remains a steady and grounding force. They remind us that even in the most chaotic times, love can provide stability, comfort, and joy. The film's message is clear. Love isn't about finding someone who checks off all the boxes or follows up prescribed path. It's about finding someone you can grow with. Someone who challenges you, supports you, and makes you a better person. Edward and Vivian's love story is timeless because it speaks to the heart of what it means to truly love and be loved in return. A sequel that honors the original at its core. Pretty Woman 2 is a tribute to the enduring love between Edward and Vivian. The sequel captures the spirit of the original film while bringing new depth to their relationship. It showcases the idea that love, no matter how many years pass, is always evolving and requires effort from both partners. Through their story, the film emphasizes that true love is not about the perfect moment, but about the moments you create together through hard work, patience, and understanding. As we prepare to see the next chapter in the journey of Edward and Vivian, we can be sure of one thing. Their love story will continue to inspire, reminding us that love, no matter the obstacles, will always find a way.